YouTube, welcome. We got a special one for you today. A watch that holds its power reserve for 31 days, a cool Journe, and a few Roman buys. Yeah, got a few Roman buys. Stay tuned. All right, look, we're gonna jump right in and we're gonna start with a very special watch. I've been telling people about Langes being sleepers and the market is slowly shifting up. It has been for the last 2 to 3 years at this point, specifically a watch such as this, which is often misunderstood. Now, why is this watch so misunderstood? Well, first of all, its price tag, its retail price tag is over $100,000. And people are saying, well, for what? Well, it's because it's a 31-day power reserve market. Would you please explain to the people just how complex that is?
We've seen like watches with 10-day power reserves, even Vacheron recently released one with a 65-day power reserve, but that beats at a much lower frequency than this, right? This is to accurately keep time for 31 days. Is a mechanical feat. The amount of energy stored in a barrel, this being a massive barrel of the watch, is just, it's just not easy to do. And again, Lange is not going to put out a subpar product that doesn't keep accurate time.
I'm trying to take this off so I can actually show the barrel, because it's pretty amazing. Who's got nails? All right, so because I really wanted to take the plastic off so you can actually showcase what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the barrel is right here. So if you could actually see the edge of the barrel right there. I mean, it's just a massive barrel. Something that probably you'll never see. The only one I think that rivals it would be like Chopard, has 4 barrels stacked up.
That's 4 barrels.
Yeah, that's 4.
That's
not one massive barrel. Like
but this also explains for the massive size and weight of the watch as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the biggest Lange. I would say it's one of the biggest dress watches out there, outside of maybe the Piguet, the musical watch.
Yeah, certainly for a time-only watch. I mean, time and date. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Look at that. And again, you kind of on the receiving end of a deal when it comes to things like this. Similar thing that's happening with, like, say, the AP Concepts, right? Because not everybody can wear one of those watches. But for somebody that wants a dress watch but is into big watches, like our friend Dove, you guys seen him in the video we did with that huge mansion that he built in Florida, right, in Fort Lauderdale. He has a humongous wrist, to an extent that the new 50mm Rolex actually fits him perfectly. Like, he puts it on his wrist and it's like a perfect fit. Wow. So not a whole lot of options when it comes to picking up a dress watch that's a nice large size, right? Yeah. So the 31-day power reserve from Lange is still one of those sleepers because it's picked up at a fraction of its retail price in the market today due to its humongous size. All right, let's move on to another highly well-executed and well-made watch and watchmaker, and that is FP Journe.
FP Journe Octa, pink on pink, probably my favorite combo. I mean, we've talked about this watch time and again, right? The official listed power reserve, at least on the dial.
Excuse me 1 second, I'm gonna... Hey!
Yeah, so pink on pink Octa, power reserve officially listed on the dial, 120 hours, which is about 5 days, but we know the actual power reserve of this is actually closer to 7, but the last 2 days kind of has a drop
The amplitude goes down, has a drop off.
Essentially, it's FP Journe's way of telling people keep the watch wound. And yeah, I mean, it's just spectacular.
Did you see Journe open up a restaurant in Geneva?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So I was following some people that were in Geneva. Adam was actually there, our boy Adam from Menta. He was like showing off the cutlery. Like the handles have like watch parts inside of them.
Those are, I think they're 𝗿𝗏𝗆 knives, which are actually very collectible knives. They were originally made, I think, for Napoleon's army, and they're now used by like shepherds. And I think he customized them.
I did not know that. All I knew was that Journe opened up a restaurant. Guy reaches out to me on Instagram. He's like, I know you're into sneakers and so on and so forth. Can I send you a pair of my sneakers? So 𝗙𝗏𝗆𝗋, I think it's this, he is 𝗙𝗏𝗆𝗋 on IG. And I want to get your vote on these. Now, I'm a big Air Max guy, and these are very reminiscent of Air Max 95s, right?
They are nice, actually.
And so we're talking about patent leather. So to me, this is like if this shoe was done on like a cream white, it'd be reminiscent of a baseball. I haven't tried them on yet, to be fair, and I will. By the looks of it, the comfort level should be there based on the sole, based on the bubble. Very Air Max-like. It's called 𝗙𝗏𝗆𝗋. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think of this shoe. Let's move on to an Omega. Market has come down on these. I mean, they were hanging out around that $28,000 to $30,000 price range. Now they're in the low 20s, right?
No, on strap you can pick them up. I mean, I recently sold one for like $17,000 on strap.
But on a bracelet?
On a bracelet, they're going to be trading about $2,000 more. So about
so about 20 grand. So they've gone down about 30%. And you know what? It's still damn near 4x its retail value, right? No, hold on, what's the retail on them?
No, retail is like, it's like 1.2x, 1.3x.
So for me, hot take, I prefer the watch on a bracelet because it's just, again, reminiscent to me of the original Speedy. And again, Snoopy is one of those watches that it's like everybody wants to have a Speedy, but I think if you're gonna pick one Speedy to keep in your collection, if you're just doing it to have a Speedy, right?
Yeah.
This would be the one.
It's an old classic, right? You can't go wrong. Timeless. It's recognizable. It's a Speedmaster silhouette mixed with the Snoopy.
Let's go with a couple of Roman buys here. Logo Rolexes. I've been a big, huge fan of logo Rolexes. I'm a big fan of Khanjar Rolexes. This is logo from Bahrain, or Bahrain, as they like to call it in Arabic. This is the UAE Forces logo, which might be a little bit more familiar to you guys because I'm sure you've seen a lot more of these because Bahrain didn't do a whole lot of logo watches or didn't do too many of them. So you're going to find 10 of these for, maybe probably 20 of these for every one of these. In fact, I've only seen that logo once before. These I've seen plenty of on different type of watches. The rarest one would be Submariners with those.
Very cool, very collectible line of watches for sure. Because they didn't make many of these, right? Go back to Rolex's history, they didn't do many stamped dials unless it was a really special order. Like it is in these.
And they're still a value because they're usually, stamped across cheap OPs or cheap Datejust and things of that nature.
Well, cheap being a relative term. That's just what they were at the time, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
I think still a lot of value in logo watches, even like the Domino's Rolex, right? They're still out there trading for a whole lot of money.
They're actually hard to get, like depending on which one, because there's different ones. If you want to get a Domino's dial one, man, I've been looking for one for like the last 2.5 months and cannot find one.
I don't know what this is and how it made it in here, but it's very, very pretty. Cartier necklace. Bead sapphires with diamonds. Very Art Deco. I don't know how a piece of jewelry made it into our unboxing, but should I wear this for the unboxing? Here's a cool watch that actually Alex sourced for a client that, again, doesn't break the bank. This is from 1956. What you're gonna get there is you're gonna get a very small size, right? Watches have gotten bigger over time. Back in its heyday, that was considered a large watch for a male because a lot of the dressier watches were even smaller. And speaking of dressier watches, let me show you a Roman buy. Cartier Tank, right? Arguably top 10 most iconic watches out there, right? So what happens in the watch industry when something iconic comes out? People tend to copy, right? And make the same things. And there was no exception for Audemars Piguet, my favorite brand, when they came out with the Audemars Piguet quote-unquote tank, right? Very similar looking to some of the older Calatravas from Patek, right? Designs, it was not like they copied off of each other. There was a certain design fad in industry, in every industry. Like when bell bottoms were in, every jean company made bell bottoms, right? This is actually a pretty special tank because again, you know me and you know my logos. This is a Khanjar style Audemars Piguet quote-unquote tank. The strap has seen better days. This is the original strap. It's dried up to a point where it's just like not even flexible anymore.
I think if you tried to rip it,
I think it'll just break in half. But what's cool about it is the original strap, right? So original strap and everything is original buckle. It's not a strap that's very wearable. It'll probably buckle under pressure. Well, actually, it's still wearable. But nevertheless, a cool blast from the past. And again, this one is a bit more special due to the Khanjar logo.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Again, Rolexes came in all shapes and sizes to include this tiny little guy, or girl, I should say. Notice the watches are getting smaller and smaller as we're unboxing. If you look closely on the dial, you'll notice in green is caboose. It's a caboose dial. It's another variation of Omani pieces that were made. One with the name of the Sultan, which you see on this watch. The other one with the Khanjar logo. And last but not least, I'm gonna finish this off with a bang. You guys have probably seen me wear this around the last day or two. This is a watch we received actually while in Miami. NTPT 1103 Black TPT. For me, whenever I look at that watch, the reason it works for me, because when the 1103 models first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of the way the case was made, where you see these protrusions around where the screws are. I think the black TPT subdues that. A happy medium between the original RM11s and the 1103s. And I'm a big fan of the black combo. It's not loud, it's not in your face, but it still makes a statement.
I like this a lot. I mean, 1103 is probably one of, if not the RM model to have. In the black TPT, it just doesn't get much better, right? I sold a red quartz one, which I like a little bit more than this, just because it pops a lot more. But this is, I mean, if you want something a bit more low key, but still want the RM11 look, this is as good as it gets.
I think so. When you're talking about like a red one, if you're talking about even the McLaren, right? The Tiger one, whichever, Tony the Tiger is what I dubbed that watch, right? If you want to talk about those things, I feel like those are not your first RM11.
No, never.
Those are an
this
additional.
Could be your first RM11.
This can be.
Yeah.
This is one of the few watches in TPT that can be. Even the white ones could not really be your first one.
Because it's distinct RM look, carbon material. So
and it's black.
Like, yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just easy to pull off.
So it's even easier to pull off than say its white counterparts, because again, I feel like before you go to a red, a yellow, an orange, a white, you know, you gotta have sort of like a standard model, be it titanium or even maybe the rose gold, right? But this is actually one of those watches that if you don't have an RM1103 and you're not the guy that's gonna jump into a red one right away, I think this is a good one to have. Wow. This was a nice and easy and small unboxing. Favorite watch at unboxing?
An RM1103. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, no, that's probably. I mean, the Journe is really nice too, but the 1103 for sure.
So I'm gonna pick something new, something old, and obviously I'm gonna go with the RM1103 Black TPT. And as far as the old pieces are concerned, I think I'm gonna go. For me, it's gonna be a toss-up between the Bahrain Rolex or the Khanjar tank from AP. Just because of the scarcity. You just don't see these things very often. YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. Instagram, thank you so much for sticking around. We will see you on the next one.